Well, hello, and thank you for being with me as we have explored this together, one point after another. Now we come to the place where it all comes together in one unified picture. There are only the three principles. They are the inside out model of life and living and thinking and being. And they are the fact that there is a universal mind that we have access to. And there's the capacity to think, which we call the principle of thought. And that's how it is that we are able to think our own individual thoughts. And then there's the principle of consciousness, which is the awareness that we use to bring our thoughts to life and create vibrancy as our life. And that's what we are seeing when we have insight into the workings of mind, thought, and consciousness and how they work together. So I'd like to use this example, if you will. You go to a concert, you expect to see and hear beautiful music. You want to see the performance. Somebody wrote the music. There was a composer that wrote the music. Maybe it was the same person who wrote the lyrics, maybe a different person. There's the auditorium in which the performance happens. There are the musicians. Each of them have their own particular background and experience. Performers. And they all work together to make one song. There are many components to one song, but it's the coming together of the parts that gives us a singular experience. And that's what we're talking about when we discuss the three principles. Sid Banks, the founder, said there are not four principles, there's not five principles. All of life is actually very simple. And that's what's liberating about this, is we don't need to figure out thousands of different solutions for any problem that we might have. We don't have to imagine thousands of reasons why we're happy at any given moment. We can understand that there's really only one cause of our experience, and that is the working of the three principles. Now, as we explore this in greater depth and as it gets into our bones, we see many different kinds of applications, many different extensions or expansions. There's no end to its use. And that's what we're going to be continuing our conversation around. But having this fundamental understanding, even if only just intellectually, it helps. It opens up new possibilities for us. Now, we might think that there are some exceptions in our life. Or maybe we don't notice certain areas where we think that it's different than the way it is. And so that's where there's a continuous exploration and a continuous looking for the insight into the application and the use of the principles. And that's what we'll be doing in the next meetings.